Hello everyone, good afternoon and good day. Have a nice day. This is Tina from the Expert Alloys. Now today let us introduce the silicon magnet. Yes, and today our living room to introduce the silicon magnets. Yes. We are excited to discuss the Silicon-Manganese market outlook for the 2025 production insight and the global source exchange. And today, let us change like the six major topic is number one is what is the silicon manganese? Do you know what silicon manganese? And the number two is how it is product. And the number three, let us talking about the key application in steel about the silicon manganese. The number four is the current market change about the silicon manganese. The number five is the smart portion strength. And number six, let us talking about Q&A. If you have any questions, please leave the message and we can discuss about the silicon magnet if you have any questions. Okay. Today, the first step, let us discuss what is the silicon magnet. Do you know what is the silicon magnet? And first, let us check the silicon magnet symbols like this one. The silicon magnet, the weight is a little heavy. Yes. As you can see, this have not the cycle in the in this impulse, and this size about the 15 millimeters. Yes, so we provide the silicon magnet. General the size is 10 to 15 millimeters, 10 to 16 millimeters. Yes. The first step, let us introduce what is the silicon magnet. Do you know the silicon magnet is one of the most widely using the ferroalloy in the steel making. It is the main composed of the magnet, silicon, and the ferro. Yes. The main function of the silicon magnets in the steel making, including for the dexidation and to remove aging to improve steel cleaning. And the other important is the desulfurization. Reduce sulfur for the better thoroughness. Yes. And the number three is the alloying to improving strength, wear resistance, and the softness. Yes. So the silicon magnet is used in the almost all steel types, like the construction steel, alloy steel, steel plant, rails, and also the foundry as the dexidizer. So the silicon magnet connector grade and the specification is the silicon magnet grade or the main is defined by the chemical composition like the silicon magnet of formalin and the sulfur and the size. So the common chemical composition grade is the silicon magnet 2570 and the 1640. Yes. The number type is 2570. About the silicon is 25% millimeters. The manganese is 70% millimeters. The failure contact is 0.1% maximum, and the sulfur contact is 0.03% maximum. Yes, and this is the most commonly used the grade worldwide due to its balanced performance and cost. And we also comment specification is the 1670 and the 1640. The silicon is 16% millimeters, and the manganese is 40 millimeters. The the field future is the 0.20% maximum. The sulfur contact is the 0.03% maximum. Yes. So this step 2 used for the general steel production with the less strict impurity requirement. And we also provide the low carbon silicon manganese. Low carbon silicon manganese, the carbon contact is the 0.5% maximum. And this type common for special steel, welding wire steel, and the high grade alloy. Yes. The common size specification is 10 to 50 millimeters, 10 to 100 millimeters. Yes. And the silicon manganese is sized according to the furnace type and the application needs. Like the 10 to 50 millimeters is the most common, and the 10 to 100 millimeters is popular in South and Southeast Asia. And we also provide the 3 to 10 millimeters and the 3 to 25 millimeters used as a dexidizer. Yes, and we will according to your requirement to customize the size available. Yes, and the common package like the turn bags. But we also have the buyer perfect the turn jumbo bags with the pellets. Yes, but if you have any questions about the package, about the size, about the specification, please contact us, and we will according to your requirement to provide it to meet your requirement. Yes. And the number 2, let us introduce the silicon-manganese production process. Yes. About the silicon-manganese is a key ferroalloy used in the steel making as a dexidizer and the alloy agent. The production process, including the raw material preparation, advantage, and the first step is the raw materials preparation. The second step is the batching. The number 3 is the step measure our furnaces melting. Number 4 is the typing. The number 5 is the casting. The number 6 is the crushing. Number 7 is the screen. Number 8 is the package. Yes. Okay, let me talking about the raw materials preparation. Like the raw materials, including the manganese alloy, the silicon, and the coke, and the electric power. Yes. because as we know, the silicon-manganese product needs a lot of the electric. Yes, the main raw materials, including the manganese ore, quartz, coke, are erratic, and the large amount of the electric power. Yes. The second is the batch and the mixing. Raw materials are the mixing based on the target chemical composition, such as the silicon 16 to 65%, and the manganese is the 14 to 70%. Number 3 is the smelting in submerged aerophanesis. Like the silicon-manganese is the smelting in the submerged aerophanesis at the 1500 to 1700, where manganese ore and silicon are reduced and combined to form silicon-manganese alloy. Yes. And then number 4 is the typing is the molten silicon-manganese alloy is taken from the furnace into the running for the first process. The number 5 is the casting. The molten alloy is casting into the models or containers. Casting mesh to the form solder silicon-manganese gold. The number 6 is the crushing. Is to after cooling the ingot are the crushed into required size, such as the 10 to 16 millimeters, 10 to 100 millimeters, or the 3 to 10 millimeters. The 70th step is the screen ensure consistent particle size according to the customer requirement. The number 8 is the package and the delivery. We'll have the silicon-manganese is loading into the jumbo bags and the prepare for the shipment. Yes. So in the end, the silicon-manganese production requires a high energy, stringent process control, and stable raw materials. Even small fluctuations can affect chemical composition and performance. Yes. And about the silicon-manganese application in the steel industrial. Application of the silicon-manganese in the global steel industrial. Silicon-manganese is one of the most widely used ferroalloy in global steelmaking, and nearly every steel mill consumes significant quantities of the silicon-manganese during the productions. Yes. As the dexider, the furnace is the silicon-manganese remove extract from the molten steel, preventing processing and improve steel density. Application is in the steel refining stage. Silicon-manganese is added as the main designator for the carbon and the alloy steel. Like the alloy agent, furnace is the silicon and the manganese to change the steel application, like the strength, hardness, and the softness, wear resistance. Silicon and manganese improve strength, hardness, softness, and the wear resistance of the steel materials, like the topic application, rebar, hot rail steel and automotive steel and like the shipbuilding steel, yes. And the destabilizing agent is have the manganese effectively remove sulfur to enhance steel quality and reduce breathlessness. And the silicon-manganese also improves the casting of the steel, like the silicon-manganese improve fidelity of the melting steel and the reduced inclusion resulting in better casting performance. And the cost effective alternative alloy. In many steel meltings, silicon-manganese is used as a cost-effective alternative to ferrosilicon and electric manganese melting. Yes, like the downstream application worldwide. Choose the construction rebar and the structural steel. Silicon-manganese is the essence for the construction grade steel. The automotive, yes, and the silicon-manganese will also use the automotive, like the high strength steel, like the used in automotive strength steel, like the machinery manufacturing to improve strength and the wear resistance of the machine contents. And they also will use the shipping building, a plate in the shipping plant and the marine equipment steel. Yes, and will also use the energy pipeline steel. Will used for the high strength pipeline and energy infrastructure steel. So the summary is the silicon-manganese plays an irreplaceable role in the steelmaking as both a oxidizer and performance enhancing alloy, directly affecting steel quality and the production cost. Yes, and like the top silicon-manganese production country worldwide is the global silicon-manganese supplier is primarily contacted like the China, India, Malaysia, South Africa, Norway, Ukraine, and other countries. Okay, below let us to explanation the detail specification, more detail. Hi, Fiona, nice to meet you. And in China, is the global largest the production the silicon-manganese country. So the advantage is that China is the world's large producer with the most complete supply chain. And the large production capital of the 16% of the global output. Complete raw material chain and the most diversified grade and the size. And have the highly competitive price, leading export with the stable logistic. Yes. And about the Indian silicon-manganese is also a production countries. So the India is the second major silicon-manganese producer repeat growing, have the rich manganese ore receiver, have the low labor cost, have the price competitive and stable supplier, have the 10 to 100 popular grade sites for the Southeast Asia and the Middle East. And the Malaysia has become a leading silicon-manganese hub with many China investing finances, have a stable power cost near major seaport, competitive export logistic, and the strength for the SEA market. Yes, like the China standard quality. And about the South Africa holds some of the world's highest grade manganese ore. Have the world-class manganese ore supplier, have the stable manganese contact, have the shipping advice to the European and the Middle East. And we also have the Norway is known for premium and low impurity silicon manganese, have the high purity, low sulfur, and have the advanced technology, have the Europe steel mills prefer with stars. So, and let me introduce our country's silicon manganese as an advantage. Yes, advantage of the China's silicon manganese, and China is the world's largest producer of the silicon manganese, according for the 15 to 16% of the global output, with the four developed industrial chain and the strange competitiveness. Yes, and have a four integrated industrial chain. And China has a four integrated ferroalloy supplier ecosystem, and have the stable supplier of the raw materials like the quartz, coke, manganese, ore, or have the large ferroalloy financing sector, have the complete flexification, logistic, port inspection, automation, have the one-stop production from the smelting to crushing, screen, and the package. And we also have the strange cost competitiveness. Have the China total production cost is among the lowest global. Have the lower labor cost. Have the economies of the scale. Have the abundant financing and the melter smelting technology, and have the flexible global manganese ore sales. Like the wide range of the specification and the stable quality, China produces the broadest range of the silicon manganese grade, like the silicon manganese 1640 and the 16515 and the 16516. And we also have the low carbon silicon manganese, the refined silicon manganese, and the customized grade for the specification steel, like the 3 to 10 millimeters, 10 to 15 millimeters, and 10 to 100 millimeters. Yes, have the multiple size range available for the different steel mills. And we also have the strange export capital logistic infrastructure. Like the China has the world's most advantage port logistic advantage technology and the smelting process. Like the China leading in ferroalloy smelting technology. And we also have the large capital and the stable supplier. Like the Chinese have the world is the largest silicon-manganese capital and the regular mostly supplier. Have the high choice from the global buyers. As the China export to more than the 18 countries. And have the long-term export experience enhance global choice. In the end, do you know why do the global buyer perfect the Chinese silicon-manganese? Hi dear, nice to meet you. Welcome to our living room. Yes, but no one feedback. And let me tell you. And why do the global buyer perfect the Chinese silicon-manganese? The number one is have the cost advantage. The number two is the complete product range. The number three is the stable quality. Number four is the reliable supplier capital. Number five have the strange logistic. And the number six have the mature technology. And the number seven is the rich export experience. Yes. So enter the before enter the part four. Let me introduce our the manufacturing. Hi dear, nice to meet you. Sorry, I just can't speak Chinese and English. Um, but please add our the please add our the WhatsApp or the WeChat. We can translate the Russian talking about by WeChat. And if you have the email, can you leave your the email message? We can talking about by email and email is the Russian. Hello dear, please leave the message by our email. Then we can talk about by email and using the Russian. Oh, nice to meet you. And I know it's the Middle Asian. We also have these countries silent, and we have the many customer from the Middle Asian and have the long times conversations. Yes, welcome. Thank you for your message. Okay, then let me introduce our the company videos, and then you can to learn about our the manufacturing, and we are the natured manufacturing natured fair chrome the manufacturing, and we also the trader. But please don't worry about the China fair alloys. We have the a long time cooperation in China. We have the long time collaborations in domestic market. Yes. Okay. Okay, let us into the fourth four part about the Silicon-Manganese market trade of and the price drivers. Yes, like the manganese euro cost change. About the manganese euro cost change, like the steel milling operating rate, and electric price and energy policy, and the logistic distribution and freight rate, like the production policy change in producing regionals, and the shift of the manufacturing capital to the Southeast Asia. We can check the outlook for the 2025. Like the tight oil supply may keep price fair. Environmental regulation may reduce the production, like the freight cost remain and a risk. Like the steel demand may gradually pick up. About the Silicon-Manganese market trade is 2025 November to December. Yes. About the number one about the price trend. Recent data show the silicon-manganese price in China at just down slightly toward late November and early December. Some steel mills and recent bids selling around the China yuan is the 500 about the 600,000 one ton. On payment accept some steel mills on payment accept basis down about like the China yuan the 90 yuan to 1 month on month. Another quotation like the 575,700. Hi there, and you can contact me by WhatsApp and or the WeChat, and you can call me. And this number is my phone number. Yes. Thank you for your lead. Thank you for your inquiring. And you can add my WhatsApp number. Yes. When our the living room is ending, we can talk about on the WhatsApp number, and maybe you can leave your message, leave your email, leave your number if you are the WhatsApp number. Okay, let me introduce our the Silicon-Manganese go on. Like the spot market and the financing price general. About the silicon manganese supplier and the raw materials cost. Like the stream manganese arrow price remains fair, and many arrow seller are the really related to the offloading and the low price, keeping cost support intact. However, demand from the downstream still the mill intact, and with the season sell down, demand weakness unit under the mine turn over for the silicon manganese alloy. Although some smelting have the reduced production or lower loading, supply reduced is the most. Meanwhile, nearby competition is coming online. So over the supplier remain is adequate. And like the market seed time and the outlook, the market participants have the adopted weight and the see attitude, meal the contrast in the tender and the trader buyer are the reaction to purchase aggressively, and the dissipator cost side support, like the weak demand, restricts upside. In the short term, silicon manganese market like the remain under the pressure with the sideways to the scientist downward basis. And for a rebound, key factor to monitor whether steel mill the resistor producement wrap up the production, and the weather managers arrow supply the tennis or the oral cost surge. And like the silicon manganese, the production or the supplier volume, and in November, total silicon manganese production in major Chinese production region for the model steel reported the 9/20/24 tons, down from the October. Yes. So cumulative from the January to November 2025, total production reaches the 9.962 million tons, about a 4.35% increase vs the same period last year. So the some smelting reduced output, whether other bother the new capital align. Overall supplier remains relatively stable. The number 5, we can talking about buying the silicon manganese smelter in the 2025. Yes. Smelter global buyer should be focused on stable chemical composition, reliable production capitals, and the transparent QC process, and the third-party inspection available. Maybe have the logistic and the freight previously ability to provide consistent market data, and the better purchase strength, including the pretty stable over lower price, avoiding risky or politics unstable average, negotiating long-term supplier contract, and splitting order to the reduced market risk. Smart change for the producer silicon manganese, like the monitor market price change. It checks both the domestic and the international silicon-manganese spot and the financing price. Particular steel mill the tender price avoid purchasability at the market peak. The number two is the consider raw materials supplier chain, like the manganese, aero cost, and the supplier direct impact silicon manganese prices. Keep an eye on aero stock level and the transportation from the main regions to anticipation price movement. Hi, Sauda. Sorry, Sauda. And you can choose the reliable supplier, the prioritize supplier with stable production and the quality field quality control. Direct factory supplier or long-term trade partner provide better reliables. Number five is the focus on the quality and the specification. The silicon manganese composition vary in the silicon manganese and the impurity. Confirm specification like the silicon manganese 165 and 15 and the 1614. Yes, to meet steel mill the process requirement. Integrate with the inventory mechanism. View the plan procurement based on your inventory and the production schedule. Exchange stock tips up capital to little risk distribution production. Like the monitor logistic and the delivery is the silicon manganese is heavy and the costly to transport. And confirm the port transport the mast and the delivery schedule in advance to avoid production delay. And we also need to stay information and flexible. Use market report, industrial news, and the social media update to adapt purchase exchange quickly to price swimming and supplier change. The key takeaway is the smart procurement, um, like the market awareness, cost control, risk diversification, and quality assurance, flexible response. And in the end, let us enter the Q&A. Yes, about our the silicon manganese. If you have any questions, we have the 10 times to answer your questions. And and if you have the other questions, please leave your the message. Okay, let me check the number questions. What is the Silicon-Manganese? The Silicon-Manganese is on the alloy used in steelmaking, milling, supplier manganese, and silicon. The main component of the silicon-manganese is contain 20 to 75% silicon, and the manganese is 15 to 20%, with a small amount of the carbon and the impurity. Density of the silicon-manganese approximately 4.6 to 4.8. Yes. Difference between the silicon-manganese and the ferro-manganese. Silicon-manganese and the ferro-manganese, the silicon-manganese usually have the higher silicon and the lower carbon content. Why does the silicon-manganese improve steel properties? Like the manganese strength steel, silicon improve wear resistance and the oxidations. Common silicon manganese grade, like the silicon manganese 165, 15, and the 1614. Yes. What does the grade number mean? The first number is the silicon contact. The second number is the manganese contact. Is the silicon manganese classified by the carbon? Yes, we have the high carbon and the low carbon silicon manganese. The next question is the use of the high carbon silicon manganese, merely used for the ordinary steel production, cost effective. The production process is how is the silicon manganese. Sorry, dear, I can't understand your questions. Because in our country, we need to work. So in our the company, we need to the work to sell our the product. Yes. The production process question is how is the silicon manganese product? And the answer is the product will the high temperature electric furnace reduce smelting manganese and the silicon error. The raw materials. What is the silicon manganese? The raw materials. Raw materials is the manganese arrow, silicon, coke. Yes. And the furnace temperature is 1,1500 to 1,1600. And how does the silicon manganese oxidation steel? Like the silicon and the manganese react with the action in molten steel to the former oxidants. Like the environmental changes is a high energy consumption and the sludge disposal require immersion control. Yes. Like the applications is which steel mills using the silicon manganese Using the silicon-manganese will using in carbon steel, stainless steel, and higher strength steel mills. Can silicon-manganese replace ferromanganese? In some carbon steel productions, yes, but manganese contact difference, yes. And the role in casting to improve melting filter or reduce porosity. Typical dust like the 0.5 to 2% of the steel weight, depending on the requirement. And can it be at the pre-finances, usually at the during label refinement for the better control. The next question seriously is the market changed. Is the recently price change. The price fancy weekly with the weak demand. Faction factory affection price like the manganese euro cost steel demand season label logistic. Like the major producer country is China, India, Brazilian, South African, Australia. And China's advantage is low cost, large capitals, convenience logistic. The steel mills procurement focus is like the price, great, stable supplier quality. Like the procurement and logistic is the best procurement strength is the strength purchased monitor price choose reliable supplier like the package options like the 1 to 10 bags and the black shipping are the steel containers and how to ensure transport safety, like the secure loading, waterproof, and monitor profiting accident. Typical sea transport time. Depend on the part, usually 20 to 45. Okay, so in the end, thanks for your joining our today living seasons. We hope this living strip helps you have the under silicon manganese prison productions and the social strength more clearly. If you need the quotation, simple specification, or the technology, please feel free to contact us. And my background is the hi Luna, nice to meet you. My background is the website or email. So if you are interested in the Silicon-Manganese or if you are interested in the fair alloys, please contact us. Okay, bye bye. See you next time.